Scaramucci reveals Pence is hedging his bets in case something happens to Trump. Former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci told The New Yorker's Ryan Lizza that Vice President Pence can't believe what the FCK is going on inside the Trump administration. The Hill reports the comment, made in the former White House aide's infamous interview with a New Yorker reporter, was published after the New York Times over the weekend reported that advisors to Pence claimed he has been signaling to Republican donors that he will run in 2020 if Trump does not. Pence slammed the newspaper's report, calling it laughable and absurd to suggest he would run for president in 2020. But Ryan Lizza in his Tuesday night report speculated that Scaramucci's comments about Pence's chief of staff may have been referring to providing protection to the vice president from any fallout should Trump not finish his term or decide not to seek another. "Why do you think Nick's there, bro?" Scaramucci said to Lizza during the phone call, referring to Nick Ayers, Pence's chief of staff who was appointed to the position last month. "Are you stupid?" Lizza quoted Scaramucci as saying during the call. "Why is Nick there? Nick's there to protect the vice president because the vice president can't believe what the F is going on." Rumors are swirling Vice President Mike Pence will challenge his boss, President Donald Trump, for the White House in 2020. The New York Times published a report Saturday claiming Republican lawmakers and strategists believe President Trump may not be on the ticket in 2020. Pence denied he is running for president in 2020, calling the claim absurd. The Hill reports, "The American people know that I could not be more honored to be working side by side with a president who is making America great again," Pence said in a statement. A New York Times report on Saturday said multiple advisors to Pence claimed he has been hinting to party donors that he is ready to run in 2020 if Trump does not. A White House spokeswoman shot back at the report that potentially ambitious Republican candidates should know the president is as strong as he's ever been in the key election state of Iowa. Pence called it fake news. The New York Times is reporting a movement to remove President Trump from the 2020 ticket is underway. New York Times reports President Trump's first term is ostensibly just warming up, but luminaries in his own party have begun what amounts to a shadow campaign for 2020, as if the current occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue weren't involved. The would-be candidates are cultivating some of the party's most prominent donors, courting conservative interest groups and carefully enhancing their profiles. Mr. Trump has given no indication that he will decline to seek a second term. But the sheer disarray surrounding this presidency, the intensifying investigation by the special counsel Robert S. Mueller III, and the blatant uncertainty about what Mr. Trump will do in the next week, let alone in the next election, have prompted Republican office holders to take political steps that are unheard of so soon into a new administration. Asked about those Republicans who seem to be eyeing 2020, a White House spokeswoman, Lindsay Walters, fired a warning shot. "The president is as strong as he's ever been in Iowa, and every potentially ambitious Republican knows that." But in interviews with more than 75 Republicans at every level of the party, elected officials, donors and strategists expressed widespread uncertainty about whether Mr. Trump would be on the ballot in 2020 and little doubt that others in the party are engaged in barely veiled contingency planning. "They see weakness in this president," said Senator John McCain, Republican of Arizona. "Look, it's not a nice business we're in." The mantle of fake news. A man who has been wrong about virtually everything, Weekly Standard's Never Trumper Bill Kristol, is plotting against President Trump. New York Times reports, in the wider world of conservative Trump opponents, William Kristol, editor-at-large of the Weekly Standard, said he had begun informal conversations about creating a committee not to renominate the president. "We need to take one shot at liberating the Republican Party from Trump and conservatism from Trumpism," Mr. Kristol said. "It may get worse," said Jay Bergman, an Illinois petroleum executive and a leading Republican donor. Grievous setbacks in the midterm elections of 2018 could bolster challengers in the party. If the Republicans have lost a lot of seats in the Congress and they blame Trump for it, then there are going to be people who emerge who are political opportunists, Mr. Bergman said. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe 24 Hours channel. Goodbye and see you again.